from Suburban Sandcastles, and I'm here with Melissa, an organic hairdresser at a hair salon. So we're having a series at the moment which is really focusing on people who've overcome enormous challenges and how those challenges have actually been their greatest blessing. So Melissa, can you tell us a little bit about your challenge?
So I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in May 2012, and I have been passionate about health for many years and nutritional health, and had been obviously following a very alkalising diet, so obviously being diagnosed with cancer was, a surprise. However, my journey of course has been very connected to my emotional health, and so that's a journey I need to really focus on. So so I wasn't operated on until September of that year, because I wanted to make sure that obviously my decision to be operated on was the right one for me. So
you say that it was connected to your emotional health. I think that concept can be challenging for some people, to see that we are, could perhaps create these diseases within our body. You mentioned to me off camera that your cancer was not genetic, that the genes had been studied and there was no link back, so that does indicate that it was perhaps a lifestyle factor. Or could you share a little bit about how you instantly knew that that was an emotional thing for you?
So I'm definitely someone who's very nurturing and giving, and my day one of diagnosis, I knew that my nurturing organs pretty much were giving me, the signal loud and clear that I needed to do something about, that nurturing. I wasn't nurturing myself. I was suppressing all my needs and all my emotions, and had done for many years. And that I needed to, it was like my body actually had to get rid of those organs for me to stop nurturing, everyone else, and give me that, that big wake-up call, which, I'm very grateful for. So
it's a powerful image to imagine that our body would be so powerful as to do that in order to get us to look after ourselves.
And of course it's, I think, as I said, having lived such a pure, I'd eaten organically and alkalising foods for so many years. So, I certainly protected myself from what I was putting physically into my body. So, it absolutely is proof that it certainly didn't come from.
And it's a bit of a missing link, isn't it? There's a really strong sense in society today. There's a really strong wellness sense, and it really is around food and nutrition. But we know that nutrition is sort of number 3 or number 4 in terms of longevity. Number 1 is things like purpose and reducing stress, and how our emotions impact our psychology. And I guess you're an example of that. I suppose that you lived this gold standard of nutrition, and that wasn't necessarily enough for you.
Yeah. Well, I think I've always said, we're a whole body, mind and soul, and if one thing is out of balance, then our whole bodies are, and I've always said that. But then, to then actually live through it, I've almost like proving my point that, it's something that I've always spoken, but obviously, that now, having lived through it, it certainly proves to myself that that's absolute, that we are whole body, mind and soul. So,
obviously, taking a bit of an alternative approach, you had the surgery, but you decided against having chemotherapy for further treatment. How can you explain how that was received on your journey?
I think amongst people that I know, because they know I'm very passionate about health and did have a lot of knowledge and had been researching really cancer for years, so that was okay. Obviously with the oncologist I struggled, because I guess I was there just to gather the information to make the right decision for myself, which a few of them certainly I guess were uncomfortable with, because I guess they're so used to people just walking in and being told what to do and people just follow that. But for me, I see them, they're experts in what they do, and I was there to get the information to gather then all my information to then be able to make the right decision and what was right for me, and that's what's important, that it was right for me, and everybody's different, so not everybody is going to go down the same track that I did and be right for them. So yeah, that's
I think
really
you're
important.
saying as well that you found out after the time that you would have had the chemotherapy that in fact the kind of cancer you have was so aggressive that it wouldn't have responded to chemotherapy anyway.
Yeah, so the first oncologist I went to see was obviously explaining to me that one of my cancers was an aggressive cancer, and that she was obviously encouraging me to do chemotherapy. And I guess I walked out of there thinking that, she was thinking along the lines of because it's an aggressive cancer that the chemotherapy would obviously be needed. And then I was to find out at my surgical appointment that in fact it's known as an aggressive cancer because it doesn't actually respond to the chemotherapy. So it's it was a complete surprise to me, and of course because I trusted my intuition and gathered all my knowledge, obviously I'd made the right decision, in the end. So
that point on intuition is a good one. Dr. Alyssa Rankin, who I know you've read a bit of, wrote a book called Mind Over Medicine, and she is a US medical doctor specialising in gynecology and obstetrics, and she went through her own numerous health challenges and really had to travel a path of seeing herself as a whole person as opposed to just reducing herself down to component parts, which is really how her training had got her to see disease. And she quotes irrefutable scientific evidence of the impact of the mind to help ourselves heal. But yet I think as a society at the moment we're quite resistant to that wellness model. There's been a lot of kind of media backlash, I guess, to that. But I think I think kind of saying that any one way is right or wrong, we always limit ourselves, I think, in doing that. I think it's about taking the best of both and questioning. You said that your best advice to anyone is to get second opinions and then get third opinions and fourth opinions.
Yeah. Really it's your life. So, you if it doesn't feel right the first bit of information you get from doctor number one, then it is your absolute right, it is your life to, continue to get as many opinions as you feel comfortable with, so that then you feel a lot more in control in making the right decision for yourself. So it's very important to make sure that you feel comfortable with what decision that you make in the end, that no one sort of is allowed to make that for you. So yeah, it's extremely important.
On that theme of this dominant view, I suppose, in society of cancer, that there's a strong sense, the war on cancer, or we must find a cure for cancer, and the fight against cancer. There's a real quite aggressive language, I suppose, and of that is, I guess, representative of our fear of it. But what has cancer meant for you, and what does cancer mean for you now?
Well, cancer was my gift to basically waking me up to the fact that I wasn't actually living, and my body was able to, give me such, a strong signal, I guess, that my life was out of balance. And that's basically, regardless of what disease it actually is, all it means is that your body is out of balance, and it's giving you the symptoms so that then you can actually, look at your life and make the changes that you need to make. So regardless whether it's cancer or any other disease, it just really is your body being out of balance. That's all it comes down to. So, and in a lot of instances, it's about a lot of times it's the same sort of things that you're going to go through to heal your body, regardless of what disease it actually is.
I think it's really powerful, and I think it's challenging, but I think that's where the power of it comes from, because it starts to put the onus back on us. It starts to get us to ask ourselves, are we being congruent with what we want, or are we pleasing other people, or are we expecting ourselves to live outside what we truly value? And I guess it sounds like in your case, the cancer was the wake-up call for you to say, okay, what do I need in this life? What am I here to do? You know, I think, you know, it's great that you've used your career as a hairdresser to be able to then turn it around and change the way that you know, do your business. And you know, you use all organic products now, and you know, have been able to draw in clients who also have those same values, so you're really able to share your story with them and empower other people.
Yeah, I mean, it really has allowed me to find my circle and find my place in the world, and to, you know, obviously serve my purpose, which is, you know, I'm all about truth seeking. So, and that's really important to me. So, this journey's been able to, you know, allow me to blow open my life and allow me to do it, like without any fear anymore. It's just brilliant. It's so, you know, it's an amazing journey, and you know, there's always challenges, but you know, that's how we learn, and that's what's important in life, to be able to move on and really experience life and to be able to live.
And I guess, how do you feel about the future? You know, there's obviously some people who say that, you know, you need to, you know, your future is defined for you, I suppose, living with cancer, but how do you feel in yourself about your future?
I'm really excited. I think, you know, the future is, I've still got some emotional challenges that I'm dealing with at the moment, and that does leave me with some anxiety, because I know the heavy effect it does have on my health. But you know, there's always going to be challenges, but you know, with each challenge I just get, you know, stronger and stronger, and my passion for life gets, you know, more intense, and you know, I just feel, you know, I'm excited about the future and you know, what I can share.
I just got tingles. I can feel that. I can feel that energy, you know, that there's a vibrancy there that says that this is giving you a chance to thrive.